BS3 Network, changing the way you listen to podcasts.
My name is Al High, and you are tuned in to Casual Highlights, the podcast, part of the BS3 Network. Welcome to another edition of Casual Highlights, the podcast, where we celebrate humanity, live on purpose, and highlight sports. My name is Al High. I'm the founder and host of this great podcast, part of the BS3 Network. And on today's episode, I am literally here recording this episode on day 2 of Big 12 Women's Tournament. Sitting down at the table right now, I had to get on here because, as I promised, I wanted to talk about day 1 of the first night of the Big 12 Women's Tournament. So there were 2 games last night that took place. The first one was between Houston and Texas Tech. Texas Tech won that one convincingly, 74-60. And the leading scorer for Texas Tech was Jasmine Shaver. She had 29 points on 10 of 18 shooting. Also, Jordan Merritt put in 15 points, 6 of 12 shooting. The leading scorer for Houston was Peyton McFarland with 14 points. And also Layla Blair, the second leading scorer, she had 11 points and 5 of 16 shooting. Watching this particular game, Texas Tech, the energy that they played with, the togetherness, the determination to get to the second round, to play 11 a.m. turnaround. They win last night, and they're actually at half right now, playing right now. But to get a win and to get a confidence booster in the Big 12 tournament was good, and they played with togetherness. If you've been watching Texas Tech, they have dealt with a lot of big injuries. Jasmine Shavers was one of them, and she had been out for quite an extended period of time. So it was good to see her back on the floor. Even her coach and her other teammate talking about the importance of having everybody back together in the building. Meanwhile, for Houston, this was their first year in the Big 12, and so it's a little bit different from the American Conference. And one thing Coach Huey on the podium did discuss was that, hey, we have to, most of the teams have been the original teams, the KU, the K-State, the Iowa State, know each other. We didn't really know them. We're brand new to a conference. We have to definitely get out on the recruiting trail. And I think it's going to be some more great things that's going to happen in Houston. I think Houston's going to be better than what they were this year. Because, the first year you're learning, you're trying to get your footing and find out what's going on. You go from a mid-major conference to a Power 5 conference. So, but I think Houston women's basketball is going to be better next year. So is Texas Tech. No, they had Texas Tech has some major injuries, and they're playing today, and we'll see what happens as they're playing right now against Baylor. The second game of the night was between University of Central Florida against Cincinnati, and this was actually a good game. At the half, Central Florida was up by 10, 35-25, but then the second half, Cincinnati made a run, made a big run in the third quarter. They outscored Central Florida 29-10 in the third quarter, and were able to actually propelled Cincinnati over Central Florida by the final score of 67-62. The leading scorer for Cincinnati, which had 4 players in double figures, was Regina Jackson. She had 12 points. Ariel Jackson. Ariel Jackson had 14 points on one of. She was 5 of 11, and then Reagan Jackson had 12 points, 3 of 4 from the 3-point line. Also, Julian Hayes put in 11 points, and Malia Williams had 12. So you had four players from Cincinnati in double figures. Now for UCF, the leading scorer was Caitlin Peterson. Caitlin Peterson, I've watched her. This is my second time seeing her in person. I've watched her on ESPN Now and watched her games. She finished with 31 points, just out there balling, leaving it all out there on the floor. Also, the second leading scorer for Central Florida was Tamia Ware. She had 9 points. So this was actually, to me, was more of a back and forth game. Central Florida controlled the first half, but then Cincinnati woke up and took care of the second half. These two teams, this was their first year in the league as well. And we expect, and then one thing that the coaches did learn that you have to bring your A game every night. If you do not bring your A game, you are in trouble. So we'll see what happens next year with Central Florida and Cincinnati as they move forward now in recruiting and off season, and we'll see what's happening with them. My name is Al High. I'm right now recording this on our podcast, on our audio. Check out the Instagram with the pictures, as well as check out the YouTube channel, Casual Highlights, for video and pictures. Till next time, we'll do it again, and I'll bring you a peek of what's happened on day 2. It's Al High signing out. Peace. Thank you for listening to Casual Highlights Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Also follow the platform on Instagram and YouTube at Casual Highlights. That's HYGHLIGHTS. Till next time, disrespect your senses.